All right, I have to make a confession about this next book. I had seen it sitting around on many shelves in many places for years. And if I turn to the copyright page here, let's see. Oh, yeah. So this is from 2004. So this has been around for a minute. The book is Crank by Ellen Hopkins. And I saw it just sitting around for so long, and I'd heard that it was this book that was challenged and banned, and it caused a bit of a pot stir, one might say. Didn't really think about it all that much until I thought, well, you know what? Transgressive and banned literature seems to be a vibe that I partake in regularly. And seeing as this is about a very serious subject of young adult drug addiction, let's just give this a shot. And another thing I got to say is that this book is not small. It is not a small book at all. This is thick. Okay, this is almost as thick as let's see. So I got Don Quixote over here. That's about like 800, 900 pages. This is probably sitting at about it looks like it's sitting at like 500, 600 pages here. I thought this was a novel, right? Just like a straight up novel. But it turns out it's not exactly a novel. This is a novel in poems. It's in a poetry format. And I'm just sort of paging through the book, and I just see, she's using the words to paint all these different patterns and shapes and things going on here. Very interesting. There's a couple other books that I have that are like this, but I wasn't expecting it for Crank. So, in order to be fair, and I think to give this enough of a chance, I think we actually have to give this one a little bit more than one page, because you're really not going to get much of anything from just the first one. And I think you'll see what I mean as we start. So I'm actually going to read, we'll say at least the first 3 pages, all right? Because there's only a few words on each one. So without further ado, Crank by Ellen Hopkins. Flirtin' with the monster. Life was good before I met the monster. After, life was great. At least for a little while. Introduction. So you want to know all about me? Who I am? What chance painting of brush and canvas painted the face you see? What made me despise the girl in the mirror? Enough to transform her, turn her into a stranger? Only not. So you want to hear the whole story? Why I swerved off the high road, hard left to nowhere, recklessly, indifferent to those coughing my dust, picked up speed, no limits, no top end, just a high velocity rush to madness. And I'll actually just continue on. I'll just read one more, because again, very short stuff. Alone. Everything changes. Some might call it distorted reality. It's exactly the place I need to be. No mom. Marie ever more distant in her midlife quest for fame. No stepfather. Scott, stern and heavy-handed with unattainable expectations. No big sister. Lay caught up in a tempest of uncertain sexuality. No little brother. Jake, spoiled and shameless in his thievery of my niche. Alone. There is only the person inside. I've grown to like her better than the stuck-up husk of me. She's not quite silent, shouts obscenities just because they roll so well off the tongue, not quite straight A, but talented in oh so many enviable ways, not quite sanitary, farts with gusto, picks her nose, spits like a guy, not quite sane. Sometimes, to tell you the truth, even I wonder about her. Alone. There is no perfect daughter, no gifted high school junior, no Christina Georgia Snow. There is only Bree. So there you have it. That is the first few pages of Crank. And again, not a whole lot to go off of here, I suppose, but we do get a strong sense of style and voice. It's just enough to keep going just to see what's going to happen. I'm not especially amazed by the opening. It's not like, wow, this is just... I feel like we've had stronger openings even just on the videos on the channel so far. But I am intrigued, and I think I am going to keep reading this just to see what happens, because I think we all can sense that this is sort of a tragic story. As I know, Ellen Hopkins did base this book on real life, in a sense. Like, it's not like, oh, this is a true story, but it was inspired by her real life experience, I believe with her daughter going through drug addiction and things like that. So she wrote something just sort of in the vein of what that was like. Apparently there are other books that come after this one. But yeah, for being I guess a novel in poetry format, unique points. I think it's going to turn away some people. Same token, turned away by it. Wish I knew that it was in this format before, I made a judgment about it, I guess, because I thought it was a novel. And I heard other people say that they were expecting a novel, and they even felt disappointed that it wasn't a novel, that it was more in the realm of poetry. And so they felt a little cheated or something by it, but I don't mind. I don't mind it. Poetry is kind of either or for me. I'm not really a poetry guy, but I think some of it can be really good. Well, I'm not willing to just, discredit or discount something just because it's in a poetry format, although sometimes it can be silly. And we've definitely seen a lot of silly stuff in poetry form. But so far, so good. So that's Crank. Let me know if you've read this one or if you want to read it and what you think about it. I'll be happy to know that there are plenty of other books dealing with this type of subject matter, and I will be covering a few of them. So stay tuned for that.